after going up in the woods and going shooting, it became very apparent that there's a lot of stuff that rattles around back here. I got stuff right here, like this, thumping around, so I need to anchor that down. This one's kind of flopping, so I need to get that tighter, but the main culprit is, oh, look at my emergency saw. That belongs in there. This guy. So, this needs to be bolted down. This is actually, I probably already told you about it, a JL Audio sub, hidden sub. It's kind of like the equivalent of what they sell now in like FJs and Tacomas with the molded black plastic box. This is the 3rd generation Toyota version. Normally brand new, they retail for like $600, but they're really hard to find now. So I got really lucky when I happened to find mine on Craigslist for like 100 or 150 bucks. The guy said that it was blown speaker, and so that's why it was so cheap. And it's cool because when I hooked it up, it's worked great. So I think maybe he just didn't hook it up right. But I was fine with buying it for 150 bucks with it not even being a good speaker because it's the box, which is super hard to find. But the thing sounds so good. So I'm keeping it, and we are just going to anchor it down. One thing I got to do before I anchor it down, though, is replace the speaker wire because that wire is too short and it kind of tugs getting back there. So I do have some new wire that I have to run, and it won't be hard. So I just got to go from the amp, wire it over here to the sub, and then once I got that done, then we can start mounting the sub. And I'll show you how that's going to work in just a second. So let me do the wiring. It's not going to get hard. There's nothing I really have to show you that's really crazy, but it's going to run it up behind the seats, under the carpets and stuff, and then up and then over, and just kind of tuck it away. And then I'll get to this part. So let me do that and I'll be back. Nothing is ever as simple as just running a quick wire and hooking up a quick sub, and it's always got something involved. So I had to pull the wire through there, and now, since I don't like wiring messes, I tucked it underneath the carpet. Oops, sorry. Since I don't like wiring messes, I tucked it underneath the carpet, and now I have to take my seat out. So nothing is ever like just real super quick and fast. So now I gotta take my seat out so I can get to the wire and run it back. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, seat is out. I had one plug for the seat because it's a power heated seat, so it was that. Now, since I have this undone, I am going to vacuum before I put everything back in because there's no point in taking this off without cleaning the dirt. So I'm going to clean the dirt, fish out this line is too short. I got to pull this cover piece off the amp so I can access the terminals, and then hook up a new power source and run it back. But let me get a vacuum and an Allen head set and then take it apart and clean this off. Look at the form on these BDs. They've been hooked up for so long they actually look like they have terminals on the ends. So this wire is completely unhooked. And just because you vacuum once doesn't mean you can put the vacuum away, because you're going to have to do it again. It's like I said earlier. You don't put your tools away until you're done. You start putting them away early, and you're going to realize you put something away too early and get it right back out. So, oh, there's the wire. Okay, so now I'm going to start running the wiring. Okay, connections made. Going down here, down here. So now I'm going to button this half up and work my way to the back. Okay, front seat is all back together and moving to the back. Gotta finish tucking right here, putting this all back together, and then move over to that side. So it's kind of working around. Now that I've got it ran all the way around to the side over here, it's gonna go basically right up here and plug into the back of the subwoofer right there. So I haven't snipped this yet because I didn't want to snip it until I knew how much room I need. So now I can just guesstimate and snip it, and that kind of minimizes how much speaker wire I waste. So I'm going to cut this, vacuum the floors, and then we'll be up to this next. Okay, I'm finally to the back of the vehicle. Got my wire right here. It's going to plug in right there. Gave myself extra slack. Never know when you might need more slack. So now, how do you mount this? There are no bolts right here that you can see. There's no latching system. You can't latch to that because you can't get behind there. So here is what you do. Let me grab something. Okay. So on the bottom of this speaker is a threaded hole. Sorry, so shaky. So, let me make sure this threaded hole is still good. Take that washer off. That looks kind of jacked up. Let's see if we can get a bolt in there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Threads are a little jacked. Let me see if I can make this go in. Let me go grab a wrench for this bolt. Okay, this sucks. I'm having trouble because I think that threaded stud at the bottom of this speaker is jacked up. So I need to work on seeing if I can get a tap in there so I can make this bolt work, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm getting this bolt to go in, but it is totally jacked up, cross-threaded, but it's still getting tight. So I think I'm going to do this with this bolt and just hope I don't screw it up. If I do, then I don't know what I'll do. There's another way to mount this. So what happens is, let me get up. You're supposed to mark the wheel well wherever that bolt's going to hit, and then drill into the fender and come up through inside the fender well using a fender washer and bolting into this box. So what I got to figure out is where to drill the hole. So somehow, let me move this. I have to mark where that bolt is going to be. I got to mark where it's going to hit. So I got to think of some way to, I got to put something on the end of this. It's going to mark the carpet. That's where I got to drill. So let me find something to do that with. How about some French's yellow mustard? Yeah, we're going to use some French's yellow mustard. Be sure to shake it good. Use mustard because that way you can wipe it off your carpet. And it's not like gum or glue. So there. And then you don't lick it because your fingers are freaking dirty. And let's see if we can do this. I'm going to try and get it on the first shot and not have to wiggle this around too much. So let's get it close, and then there, let's push it down. Okay, let's see what that. Okay. Huh, there's our mustard mark. That is where we're going to drill our hole. I hope this works. Better check underneath the fender well. Make sure I'm not going to drill into nothing important. Okay, wheel well is completely clear. Before you drill the hole, you have to go put the mustard away. Otherwise you forget, and then you waste mustard. Okay, now that I marked that, I am going to drill that out. I think they said they wanted you to drill it like a 1/2 inch. We're going to start small and try to do the smallest hole as possible. And then once we can see that we have it lined up, we will put some silicone, a bunch of silicone, crap load of silicone, on the fender washer when we do the final bolt up. That way it kind of seals the weather out. I'll show you. Pilot hole is drilled, and you know you got it right when you can smell the mustard fresh on the drill bit heating up. Okay, I'm just working up on drilling the hole. It helps to cut around this area because there's lots of underpacking material that's going to come out of there as you drill. And the drill's going to yank it and pull it out of there. So I just cut a little bigger hole with a razor blade, the box knife. So now I'm going to go for the big bolt hole and then see if I can get the bolt in there. Okay, now that I got the hole drilled, kind of lined up, I'm going to throw some silicone all around the washer and the bolt and try to get it threaded on. Okay, it's all installed. I have a bolt coming through the bottom, and I screwed up. My hole that I first drilled was off by like 1 inch by 1 inch. So I had to drill another hole diagonally, 1 by 1 away, and it's good now. I mean, it's definitely not going to fall over, but my honest opinion, I do not like the way this thing mounts. I don't like it at all, but I think it's going to be fine now. We'll see. Set the drive with it, see what happens. But yeah, that's how it is supposed to look, and that's how it's supposed to mount. And I got to hit some corners, some bumps, to see if it's going to stay, but that's basically it. In case you guys are wondering, this is a JDM Surf, Hilux Surf matte neoprene from Japan that I got off a Japan auction, and I like it. It's kind of different and neat, so this isn't made to be in here with this, and I'm not going to cut this to make it fit. So those are already relief cuts that were already there. So that's it. That is all done. What a pain in the butt. I don't even like the way that mounts. But now I'm kind of in a bad spot because I already drilled holes in my fender and cut my carpet. So if I decide that I don't want it there, I guess it won't be hard to find wheel well carpet pieces, because those are carpet pieces all on their own. There's like a chunk of molded carpet. It's not like all this carpet and it's all one piece. It's just that. So yeah, that's it.